Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle was a good-natured man. He was kind to his neighbors. The children shouted with joy when they saw him because he played with them. He taught them how to fly kites and shoot marbles and told them long stories. Rip's problem was that he was lazy. He did not do any work, so his wife often got angry with him. Rip would go to the mountains to hunt. He would take his faithful dog, Wolf, with him. One day, Rip and Wolf climbed to the highest part of the mountains. There, Rip lay down on the green grass under a tree to rest. When the sun had set, Rip got up to go home. As he started, he heard a voice call out to him, "Rip Van Winkle!" He looked around and saw a very short old man slowly climbing up the rocks. The man was carrying a heavy barrel on his shoulder. The man said, "Rip, please help me carry the barrel." Rip was a helpful fellow, so he quickly lifted up the barrel. He carried the barrel to a cave in the mountains, and Wolf followed him. There, Rip found a group of strange-looking men playing ninepins. They all had long beards and were wearing strange clothes. When Rip went in, they stopped their game and stared at him. One old man took the barrel and poured pink liquid into glasses. He gave Rip a glass too. Rip tasted the liquid. Soon he fell into a deep sleep. When Rip woke up, he found he was alone. He rubbed his eyes. It was a bright sunny morning. There was no one around. He looked round for his gun. He found that instead of his clean gun, an old rusted gun was lying next to him. Wolf, too, had disappeared. He called his dog, "Wolf, Wolf!" but no dog came. Rip felt weak and hungry. He picked up his rusty gun and began to walk towards the village. As he came close to his village, he met a number of people, but he did not know any of them. They all stared at him in surprise. When he entered the village, the dogs began barking at him. A group of strange children ran behind him, shouting at him. The whole village had changed. He went to his own house. He found the house had fallen down. There was a dog that looked like Wolf sitting outside it. Rip called him by name, but the dog growled at him. "Even my very dog," said poor Rip, "has forgotten me." Soon a crowd gathered about Rip. They looked at his long grey beard, his rusty old gun, and his torn clothes. Rip did not see anyone he knew. "I am Rip," he said. "Does no one recognize me?" Just then, a young woman with a child peeped in through the crowd. "Rip Van Winkle?" she said. "He was my father. 20 years ago he went away from home with his gun and his dog. Nobody has seen him since. His dog came home without him. I was a little girl then." Rip took his daughter and her child in his arms. "I am your father," he cried. His daughter wept with joy. Everyone was amazed. An old woman in the crowd looked at Rip and cried, "Sure, it is Rip Van Winkle. Welcome home again, kind neighbor. Where have you been these 20 long years?" People heard Rip's story with amazement. For 20 years, he had been asleep in the mountains.